how are you today?
I'm great, Carmen. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad that we could do this and get together with Sunny and Kiki over here and have a nice picnic.
Yeah, Sunny was really excited all of today.
Oh,
she was
sweet.
really looking forward to this.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, thank you so much for bringing the beautiful fruit basket. And
Thank
Kiki
you
and I also
for
brought some treats.
Everything.
Yeah, of course, of
Lovely.
course. We've got some lovely treats here from some of our different community partners. So over here we've got the fizz soda. So these are craft sodas. They're absolutely delicious. The mixed berry is one of my favorites. I love the passion orange too. We've got the lemongrass and also the tamarind and vanilla.
Wow, so many flavors.
Yeah, they're great.
Let's try.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I think I'll pick the lemongrass.
I'm going to do the
It's
mixed
one of my
berry.
favorite.
Cheers.
Cheers.
They're really refreshing on a hot day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great. I love them.
I see we have even some treats for our furry friends.
We do. So these cupcakes, they're just beautiful. They're actually from a longtime partner and supporter of ours called Han. She owns Woof Pet Food and Treats. And she hand makes each and every one of these cookies and cupcakes. And they're obviously for the dogs, but they're human grade quality. What I love about Han is she's such an amazing person. The product she creates is amazing, but she's also a lovely human, you know? So Han is actually an independent rescuer. She has 5 dogs and about 35 cats in her care at the moment, and she's a single mom.
Oh.
You know, so she runs this business, cares for these animals, and raising her daughter all at the same time. I mean, what a power woman, right?
Yeah.
So she so lovingly created us little hand-painted Sunny and Kiki cupcakes. Although Kiki got a bit excited and did lick her name off of hers. So we've added some biscuits onto hers. The dogs just love them. So I hope Sunny enjoys hers. We can give them a little treat in a bit, I think.
Yeah.
And then,
lovely.
same with the cookies. Aren't they cute?
Looks exactly like them.
I know. Isn't it incredible? Yeah. She actually hand paints them.
Wow.
So we'll put a link to her website in the description. And then we've got our beautiful little bandanas for the girls from our other community partner, Poi. So this
is matching my dress today and the watermelons.
It's so perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is actually their new line, their watermelon collection. And then Kiki's also sporting our Laws for Paws collection with them. So percentage
I didn't know that Laws for Paws had its own collection.
I know, isn't it adorable? So, Kiki's grabbing a cookie there. Okay.
Well, that's testimony.
There we go. Kiki's eating her Kiki cookie. Is that delicious, Kiki?
She said, say no more.
Yeah, exactly, right? That speaks for itself. So with our Poi collaboration line, they donate a percentage of the proceeds to us from the sales. So there's harnesses, leashes, collars,
lovely
bow ties, bandanas. So yeah, really exciting. Should we see if Sunny wants to try a cupcake before Kiki eats all of them?
Let's try.
Okay. You gonna try? Look,
Sunny, look.
Well, this is for Sunny, princess. This one isn't for you. I'll give you another one.
We even have this right
there.
Let's get her accustomed.
Yes. Here.
Sunny loves treats.
Have a little cookie.
That's you, Sunny.
Oops. Oh, look at that. No, Kiki, you can't steal Sunny's cupcake.
I think Sunny's about 6.
Yeah. I think because you adopted Sunny from us
last year. She was 5-ish.
Yeah.
Teeth age.
Yeah. Well, this is the difficult thing, isn't it? It's a little bit of a guess sometimes because we have to tell their age by their teeth. But obviously, if they've lived quite a hard life on the streets, oftentimes the teeth can look much worse. Like Kiki, for example, she's missing a lot of her teeth. Could be because of age, but could also have been sped up by a hard life on the streets.
But she looks like a very lively young girl.
So we believe that Kiki is about 8 to 10 years old, but she's got so much life in her, you know.
I would have guessed like 3.
Look at Sunny eating her biscuit there.
When I was adopting Sunny, she was known as a very friendly dog in the shelter.
Always.
And she just opens up to everyone instantly.
She's such a gentle dog. When she was at the shelter, she was such a fan favorite of our volunteers, our student volunteers, just because of her calm, gentle, loving nature. And I think that's one of the really great things about adopting an adult dog is you already have a good sense of what their personality will be like.
Yeah. I think
know,
that's a common misconception because a lot of people think that having a puppy is easier because they look cute and all. But for me, having an older dog meant that I knew exactly what I was getting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like an Easter egg.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I was like, I knew Sunny's personality and she was already a very calm and chill dog. She's also older.
Yeah.
So it doesn't require so much exercise or it wasn't so physically strenuous.
Yeah.
And she was a very coffee date friendly dog.
Absolutely. Did you have to do a lot of training with Sunny after you first adopted her from us?
Not at all. She's really smart.
Yeah.
I think that is her natural state, natural trait. But also I think Lost for Paws did a really great job also training the dogs.
Thank you.
Before having them adopted.
Yeah.
So they're already adjusted to living with humans.
Well, this is the thing, and I appreciate you saying that because, it is something that we work really hard on. That's one of the great benefits of being cage-free. Our dogs are exposed to even simple household things like vacuum cleaners and mop buckets, and, they're non-reactive to those kinds of things, but they also get more used to what people's routines would usually be once they get adopted and things like that. And we work really hard with the leash training, the toilet training. And a lot of thanks for that is really owed to our volunteers, who come and dedicate time to walking the dogs and things like that. So it means a lot to hear that you as an adopter see that impact. Which is great.
I think for me, that was really important because I knew that Sunny was already leash trained and she goes to the toilet at certain times of the day. So I could plan my schedule.
Yeah.
Instead of training a puppy, like if someone were to get a puppy out of the blue, then they would have to do everything themselves. So it requires more, I think, attention from the start.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what you're getting. With an adult dog. And I personally think that's what makes them extra special.
I think that thing about dogs at Lost for Paws, they really love life. They love humans and they're really appreciative.
Yeah, and it's, a lot of our dogs have faced a lot of hardship at the hands of people. But it's like they don't hold a grudge. They don't hold resentment. They just, once they realize that they can trust human hands again to show them kindness, they respond really well to that.
Yeah, I think that's also another common misconception because a lot of people think that shelter dogs, they're so hurt by the circumstances that they will never trust a human again.
Yeah.
And then it would be hard to get them to love their new owner.
Yeah.
But in my experience, it was the complete opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's true for almost all of our dogs, that they're able to trust actually so quickly. I think as humans, we can learn a lot from them in terms of compassion and forgiveness.
And healing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially with, I don't know if you know Kiki's rescue story.
Can you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah. So Kiki was found wandering on the streets by some fellow dog lovers, and she was sort of living around a lot of street food vendors, but she had this awful wound on her neck, and when they rushed her to the vet clinic, she just wants those sunflowers. the vets believe that it was either hot water or hot oil
Oh no.
thrown at her. Perhaps she was trying to scrounge up some food from the street food vendors and they got frustrated, or there was an accident and the water fell or something. So
Oh, no.
she does still have a small scar
Really?
over there. Yeah, with a patch of skin, the hair just won't grow back. But, you know, you think of a dog like Kiki, who's probably lived most of her life on the streets, not really been shown a great deal of kindness and compassion, yet outside of wanting to devour all the sunflower cookies, she really is such a loving, gentle, sweet old lady who forgives, you know, and has healed so beautifully inside and out.
She's a lovely lady.
Yeah, she's a sweet girl. She's still looking for her forever home. We've had Kiki now about 3.5, 4 years. Unfortunately, sometimes the older dogs are overlooked a little bit. I think that's where it's just so special to have adopters like you who have said, no, I want to give an older dog a chance.
Yeah.
You know, oftentimes they're overlooked, but they can make just the most fabulous pets.
For me, they're amazing pets, honestly, because they already know so much. They're so wise.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Kiki is so lovely. She's so cute.
And how did Sunny adjust to apartment living and like your routine and things like that?
I would say very easily.
Yeah.
So I've never had such an easy dog. as
Yeah.
Sunny. I grew up with dogs and I raised them from puppy age. So for me, this was a very different experience.
Yeah.
Experiencing an older dog who already knows how to do everything. So I was like, oh, actually, I don't have to do much at all.
Yeah.
She loves the apartment life. She loves the routines that I have. And most of the time she just chills. She doesn't ask for a lot of of course she loves pets and attention, but she doesn't get super upset when you leave or when you go to work.
I think she's quite an independent dog, isn't she? She's confident and she's independent, and that goes a long way in, you know, a happy dog is a confident dog, right?
And she also gets along really well with her cat siblings.
Oh,
that's a great.
So she has companions at home when you're not there.
It's not like they're friends, but they get along quite well.
Yeah, they coexist well. I love that. That's sweet. And that's, I mean, you know, we don't have cats at the shelter. So it's, you know, I think for us, when you came along already owning cats and looking to adopt a dog, it was really important for us to find the right kind of fit for you of a dog that we felt would be successful living with cats. And, you know, a dog with such a gentle nature and temperament like Sunny, she really is the perfect fit for a household with cats. Even someone like Kiki, you know, with a bit of training would do really well with that.
Kiki was really easygoing today because we walked quite a lot.
Yeah.
She didn't look too tired.
No, she just likes to sniff everything. But yeah, so I think that's also the benefit of us being cage free and being with our dogs 24/7. We get to know their personalities really, really well. And so it allows us to kind of match, you know, future families with dogs so that there's greater success of a long-term adoption.
Actually, I remember going through the website before adopting and like choosing which dog would fit my life the best and which story would resonate the best with me.
Yeah.
And I think that was a very distinctive and helpful feature because you kind of have this instant intuition and connection, seeing like, oh, I have cats, so maybe Sunny would be the best fit for me because she is very friendly and gets along with everyone.
Absolutely. I think having that website where you can learn more about each of the dogs is so beneficial because it allows you to start building that initial bond before even meeting them in person, right? So, yeah.
It's like a dating profile, but for dogs.
Exactly. You're on Tinder, huh?
Yeah, you're on dog Tinder.
Dog Tinder. I know, you just want to eat all the cookies.
So what's Kiki's routine like?
So Kiki's really good with her routine. She's fully toilet trained, so she gets up in the morning and immediately all the dogs go out for their morning toileting. And then the volunteers arrive at about 7:30 a.m. And she is always one of the first to be asking to go out for her walks. She loves her walks. Despite being an older girl, she absolutely loves her walks with the volunteers. And then honestly, once our dogs at the shelter have had a really good walk, they all find their favorite spot, whether it's in front of the river, in the sun, by a fan, wherever they're most comfortable. And they lay down and they nap most of the day. You know, dogs need to sleep up to 18 hours a day. Kiki's found the next cupcake. Up to 18 hours a day. So they mostly nap the rest of the day. And then in the afternoons, the volunteers come, we do our feeding, and they have their afternoon walk. And then slowly but surely they settle down for bed. So Kiki's got a really good routine. And I think it's a routine that you're stealing the cupcake. I think it's the kind of routine that also aligns well with most people's daily routine too, you know, getting up, going to work, those kinds of things. So yeah, we try our best to make their routine as realistic as possible for adopters also.
Having a dog like Sunny or Kiki is great for the apartment because they're so neat and clean.
Yeah.
They're so low maintenance.
Yeah.
And they're the perfect size. Because I know that some apartment complexes, they don't allow very big dogs.
Yes.
So having someone like Kiki or Sunny is perfect.
Absolutely. They're a great size. And that's one of the reasons also why on the website we try and add that information, like the size and things, and if they can live in an apartment. Just
That's very helpful.
Yeah, to help make it a bit easier. Here.
Actually, I packed this toy today. Kiki.
Look at that. Look at that.
She's like, that's not a real watermelon.
Can we?
Yeah, Sunny is a more chill dog. She doesn't play as much.
Yeah.
She's like, I like my dates.
Yeah, exactly. I like to just sit on my blanket and relax and rest.
She likes grooming a lot. Actually,
does
that's
she?
another thing. It was extremely easy to wash her, brush her, just whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
She's extremely trusting and easy.
That's so great to hear because, you know, we have our student volunteer program on a Saturday and Sunday, where the most dedicated kids, I mean, just blows my mind that they come consistently, no matter what, rain or shine. But one of the things that the kids help us a lot with is the grooming. Yeah. So
they're used to being groomed by a lot of
Absolutely.
different people and a lot of specialists as well. So they're used
Absolutely.
to seeing the vet as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So they're used to their vet runs. We try and get them used to like driving in the car and things like that. And then the grooming, we have a proper grooming station, like the proper wash sink, which is great. And the kids help with the brushing, especially a dog like Sunny, you know, she needs that regular brushing for the undercoat. So the kids help a lot with that. We do truly believe that the right family is out there for every dog. So we don't stop. We keep going for them. Hey, Beaky.
I think a lot of people think that, okay, so they go to the shelter and the most friendly dog that comes to them is the right dog for them. But sometimes dogs take time to open up.
Absolutely.
And you need to get to know them.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had some people that came to the shelter and formed a bond with a dog that didn't even come over to them. But they just had the feeling that this was the right dog for them. And over time, it's almost like the dog chose them. Like there was that moment of choice that's really special. So, yeah, I mean, I think some people really want and hope for that like magic moment, that TV moment where this dog just like runs up at you. And it's not like that for all the dogs, just like with humans, you know, some people are really extroverted and, you know, confident to go over to strangers and that. Other people take a bit of time to get to know someone. Same thing for dogs. right? They've each got their own personalities. So just because you see a dog that is a bit more quiet, it doesn't mean they wouldn't be the right fit for you.
So how would you recommend for someone who is interested in getting a dog? What should be the steps for them?
So
in getting to know how to do this, what is the right dog for me? Am I a good fit?
Absolutely. I think that's such a great question. So the first thing is what you had actually said is going through the website and having a look at their stories, their pictures, who kind of, jumped into your heart a little bit, right? And then also submitting our application with our lifestyle questionnaire, because that really helps us. Yeah. So
we have like a matchmaker.
Correct. It really is Tinder for dogs. So we have like a lifestyle questionnaire where that, because we know the dogs really well, we know what kind of dogs will work in different settings. A young 3-month-old puppy probably is going to struggle a little bit with someone that works 8-9 hours a day, 6 days a week. Do you know what I mean? And won't have like a dog walker come or something like that. So it's things like that we look at. And then coming to the shelter, also it doesn't need to be the kind of thing where you come once and you're forced to make a decision there and then. Not at all. We've had adopters who've come to the shelter 2, 3, 4 times and walk the dogs that they're interested in and build the bond that way.
Do you also recommend for someone who's interested to attend the community events to
absolutely
see how other dog owners are?
Yeah, and it's a great way to, one of the things that we want to do is build up the pet owning, dog owning community within the city. So it's just a great way to get to know other pet owners. It's a great way to chat to some of our adopters about the process. And we oftentimes bring some of our shelter dogs there. So it's a perfect opportunity to get to meet them, take them for a walk, things like that. So yeah, we try and do some really cool community events. We've got some really exciting events coming up after summer. So everyone needs to keep an eye out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and also on our LinkedIn. We've been doing some really, really exciting stuff. So I encourage everyone to go and check out what we're doing, but keep an eye out for after summer. There's some exciting things in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, we're really excited for that one. So you don't have to be a dog owner or interested in adoption to attend our events. You can also, especially some of the upcoming events, can just attend for fun with some friends.
Yay!
Yeah, so it's exciting.
Yeah,
we're
I don't
looking
think
forward.
A lot of people know that they can just attend without having a dog.
Absolutely. And also, if people want to volunteer at the shelter, they're welcome to send us a message on Facebook or Instagram. I know some people, maybe their lifestyle doesn't allow them to have a dog. Perhaps they move around frequently or their apartment isn't dog friendly, but they still want to be around dogs. The volunteering at the shelter is a great way that they can get some puppy cuddle time. Without having the full-time responsibility of owning a dog. So if anyone's interested in that, they can just message us on Facebook or Instagram, and we can share more info about that. But our volunteer program really is the heart of keeping us, able to do what we do. Well, thank you so much for having Kiki and I here. We have thoroughly enjoyed it, and a very special thanks again to Fizz, Sodas, and also Han from Woof Pet Food and Treats. This has been so lovely. Thank you for inviting us to the park.
Thank you.
Kiki loves a park day.
This is Sunny's first picnic date with another pup.
Yes, I think this is Kiki's first picnic altogether, and so far I think she approves.
But I think she really enjoys it. Yeah. She's like, finally some more girl activities.
Absolutely. I think they've loved it, especially in their matching poi set. Thank you to Poi for those.
I think she might ask for more picnics from now on.
Absolutely. We'll have to arrange some more.
Adopt, don't shop, and follow Lost for Paws for more information. And please like and share this video if you enjoyed it.